So this video is a little bit different than the types of videos that I usually make. I usually make videos related to like social issues, dating, financial issues, job issues, and everything, in between, mostly in the West, mostly in Europe and America, mostly America, right? Even though I'm not from America. And before I even start, I know that most people that already clicked this already clicked off, because why would anybody want to listen to this idiot who's clearly not from a native English speaking country with this like insanely annoying English accent? I know I'm very, very insecure about my accent. I know I am. But now let's get to the video. I really feel like I want to talk about this because for some reason I feel it very heavily on like my chest and I want to get it out. So let's start. I was just watching a left-leaning American YouTuber, right? His name is Sarah's TV. So I watch him from time to time, right? By the way, I watch both left-leaning and right-leaning political commentators, creators, whatever you want to call them, right? More examples, which will make so many of you guys hate you. For example, these people hard disagree on most stuff. For example, I watch Young Don, who's left-leaning, and I agree and I disagree on a lot of his opinions and a lot of stuff. And I also watch from time to time, as well as Asmongold, whose most stuff, he says, are actually right-leaning. And I disagree with some stuff and I agree with some stuff. And this is the main problem and point I want to talk about. So I was watching this video about trans people from Sarah's TV, right? So he was talking about how evil the right-leaning people are and right-leaning beliefs and conservatives and all of this. And the main problem is, me, and I think and most humans are like this, like me, I don't fully align left or right. Now, this is gonna make almost everybody watching this video hate me, but yeah, I don't fully align left or right. I've got some left and some right political beliefs. And I'll give examples a little bit later on, because why not, right? Make more people hate me, I guess. But I hate how we've lost our humanity. We're seeing each other as people, and this, what I'm talking about, is mostly about Europe, North America. You can add in Australia, New Zealand, some other countries. I'm mostly talking about the West here, right? We've lost the plot as humans, man. We have stopped seeing ourselves as humans, that every single human deserves some basic human respect. And all of us just see each other as this left or right-leaning person. And here's some examples now. There's extremes on both sides, of course. I can't disagree with that. And for example, I hate that how on the internet, if you have left-leaning beliefs, you have to follow all of the left-leaning beliefs. You can't have any right-leaning beliefs. And it's the same for the other side. Now, a lot of people, this is why a lot of people hate me. And they think that I'm mentally ill. That, here's an example now, which will make so many people hate me. I believe, I have a left-leaning belief when it comes to something like, and I'm giving the extreme examples. I have the left-leaning belief when it comes to, if somebody as an adult wants to go trans, I don't care. If you're an adult and you want to be trans, be trans. And I've met some trans people, and most of them were actually normal, chill people and just wanted to live life. This was what Sarah's TV was talking on his video. By the way, I respect him. Of course, I have some stuff that I disagree and I agree with him. I think he deserves basic human respect because he's a human, right? Just like every human who's not a pedophile or terrorist. Those are the types of people who are other extremists. Those are the type of people that I don't think should deserve respect, obviously, right? We agree on that, I think, mostly. But he says, and a lot of left-leaning people I hear say this, that right-leaning people are all hateful and racist and horrible. And for example, with the trans example, they don't want to make trans people perish, extinct, you know what I mean, right? Like that, right? Die. And I'm hearing a lot of right-leaning people say that they are against, and not all of them, but a lot of them, are against the trans idea. And then they want more traditionalism. I get both points, but most right-leaning people that I hear, they don't want you to die. They just don't like the idea of trans. And now, here's an idea that I have that's more right-leaning, right? I don't want trans kids. It is what it is. I'm opposed to that, and I'll explain more details of why I have all of these mixed beliefs. Before you can leave hate comments, but before you leave any hate comments, which I will not delete. You can leave in as much hate comments as you want. I disagree with that kids should be able to go trans if they want to, right? And there's left-leaning people now hating on me and disagreeing with me, saying that I'm a bigot and I deserve to die. It's fine. If you want to believe that, it's fine. I don't care. And here's why. Because right-leaning people say that the science and medicine says that kids getting hormone blockers and a lot of all these other surgeries maybe and other stuff is bad for them and it cannot be reversed. Plus, we can all agree on this, kids cannot consent. And left-leaning people say, no, medicine, all of this proves all of this blah blah blah, and it's reversible and it's okay, and there's not going to be long-lasting, lifelong damage because of puberty blockers and surgeries and a lot of crazy shit that they think that should be done to kids, right? And here's my stance on this. For both people, on any political left or right-leaning belief, it can be on migration as well. I can say what I think about that as well. Here's how I am, and you can all call me insane if you want to. It's fine. When I see statistics, and when I talk with left or right-leaning people, because I have friends on both sides, if I didn't already mention, they all show statistics. For example, they both show statistics on migration, on who does the most criminal acts, and trans stuff. For example, right? All statistics are contradictory to themselves. Left-leaning people would show me these, and right-leaning people would show me these. And I'm just supposed to choose a side and believe something. And if you're left-leaning and if you're right-leaning, you both have the same answer now. Just use common sense. Listen, man, I think people have lost the ability to question stuff. Being left or right has become this like cult almost. If anybody is on the other side, they're evil, straight up. That's it. And there's no ifs or ors, And every time I see statistics these days on all of these topics, by the way, I wish there was no division between here's my fantasy world. Before I say this, here's my fantasy world, which will never exist, by the way. It will never exist, and this is why it is my fantasy. There will be no segregation because of race, religion, ethnicity, because so many other stuff, and so much of that stuff, like I'm not religious, for example, right? So much of that stuff I just see as human-made, artificial. Whether you believe in any religion, I don't care. I can respect you for that, it's fine. But I just wish we would all unite under just one thing, not go to wars over religion, race, resources, all of this. We would become this somehow hyper-intellectual society, which how I imagine an alien society that would be able to like have advanced tech and science come to our planet and us not even be able to see them. That's how I would imagine them. They would be above all of this that we're on right now, okay? They would only focus on advancing society with science, with technology, making sure everyone in the world has all the basics to survive, and we would focus on exploring the world, the science, and the universe as much as possible. And you might think, and listen, you can think I'm insane again, but if there's a God out there, if such a thing exists, which I'm open to be, proven wrong one day, and I can be proven wrong if I actually feel it and see it and I communicate with it somehow, if that's possible. If there's a God out there, please somehow give me some assurance, contact me, however a God would do that, right? Tell me, what's the actual reality? Why did you create the universe? Why does the universe exist? How were you created if you were God? Anyway, back to what I was saying. So now you, as a left or right-leaning person, or a Christian, Muslim, a Jew, a Hindu, or maybe even race-wise, black, Asian, white, I don't freaking know. all you as an individual with all of these characteristics, you and a lot of people like you have a certain belief of how it is this perfect way to run the world based on left or right-leaning beliefs, right? Do you guys realize that before, let's say you're left, or right, do you realize that before we actually get to the point where the world is as you like it to be with left or right-leaning beliefs, do you realize that before we get to that point, we will actually destroy ourselves and we will actually never get to this point? You realize that, right? Like, you realize Western society is being destroyed because of a lot of this, because of a lot of reasons. And I know if you're left-leaning, you'll say it's destroyed because of right-leaning politics, and if you're right, you'll say it's the opposite. It's being destroyed because of left-leaning politics. Whatever. That's the main problem. Us humans, biologically, and you can call me a nihilist, and in the last year, I'm actually realizing that I have actually become a nihilist at some point. I see humanity and life by itself as just pointless, and I'm not gonna just not do anything with my life. Of course I'm gonna work on bettering my life and be nice and do something with my life, of course. I also love stoicism. It is what it is. It might be contradictory in some ways, I don't care, but I've become so nihilistic in the last year because I realize there's no good future for humanity. And you might say, for my country there is. For how long? For your country there is. For this religion, for how long? There's a lot of factors working against us as humans. And the biggest problems are us humans. You realize what I mean, right? And I just don't know what to believe anymore. I'm making this video, and even though I would love to be able to also make an income from YouTube, that's I'll continue making videos, and I might destroy my whole potential YouTube career because of this video, because this might go horrible, right? But it probably will, because a lot of people throughout my whole life, I've been bullied a lot. I've received a lot of hate throughout my childhood. It is what it is, right? So I'm used to that. And if this video goes mini viral, which for me it's even 10K views, yeah, even if that happens and if it gets so much hate and all of this, I'll just delete it, it's fine. I would hope not, but anyway, I don't know what to trust anymore. And the problem is, I want to do anything in life these days, and if you want to do anything in life these days, you gotta choose some kind of a political side, right? You can't be what I think most normal people are. Some left and some right political beliefs, but most of those kinds of people don't really talk about it out loud because they will be the most ridiculed by both sides. And I already can hear left-leaning people say they will be the most hated and ridiculed by right-leaning people because they might not have a lot of traditional beliefs. Sure. And I hear a lot of right-leaning people now say, oh, they're going to be hated by a lot of left-leaning people because left-leaning people think everything that's against what they say is hateful and bigoted. You see what's the problem, right? You see what's the problem. And I used to say that I'm a centrist. I don't think if this is centrism. If it is, I don't give a shit. If it is, it is. I really don't care whatever you label me. I just don't know what to believe in anymore. And let me give some more examples, right? Let me give some more examples. When it comes to illegal migration, let's make everybody hate me again. Both sides. I am against illegal migration. Why would we accept anything illegal to happen in our country? So why would we accept someone to enter illegally? Now, this goes for both left and right-leaning people. You both agree, then, that terrorists, PDF files, and all of this, rapists, if it happens in your country and they're somebody that's a citizen in your country, they should be, I don't know, put in labor camps for the rest of their life or behind bars, whatever, right? Then why would you accept someone that's that kind of a person in another country, but in your country? So this talking point of mine is actually something that's more right-leaning, and now left-leaning people hate me. And here's my more left-leaning belief, right? let's say I wish I was born and raised in the US. I freaking love the US. I know it's not perfect. I know it has some issues. But if you think you hate your country and there's a better country out there, you will always find problems in every single country. You just have to choose what culture and stuff you want to live in. Right? I love the US. And let's say, for example, I wish I was born and raised in the US. But let's say, for example, I am someone from the US, right? Here's what I would do. Everybody's going to hate me again right now. If I make my country, this can be any country, it doesn't have to be the US, zero unemployment, zero poverty. Everybody can afford a home, healthcare, education, at least minimum one car, at least. If you can afford a home, you can afford a car or two, so yeah. And at least one week of somewhere traveling vacation in a year. And if you can do more, more power to you, at least, right? And if we're in this great of a situation as a country, right? And the economy is growing and there's more demand for more employees, but everybody in this case is employed or a businessman, all of this, but there's more demand. I have got nothing against with legal migration. It should be strict. How should it be strict? It shouldn't be strict in ways that the person should learn the language, respect the culture. No one's going to tell you not to forget your language or culture, where you come from, and to not visit back your country and all of this. Of course not. But you can't scam the country. You can't do evil stuff in this country. You have to be very regulated. And if you do one very minor mistake, you have to be deported immediately. It is how it is. You have to integrate and respect it, and it is what it is. So what I just said was a mixed bag of left and right-leaning beliefs, and this will make everyone on both sides hate me. And I hate that this is reality. And you know what's the bad part? I don't know if the world will actually be a better place if everybody actually thought like me. So what if actually everyone in the world had my mindset? What if, for example, like let's say the fantasy that I mentioned becomes reality and everyone has my mindset. So what if that ends up not being the right thing? So what if we end up finding out something much worse or better about existence and life and the universe, and that ends up being something bad? You know what I mean? It's a mixed bag of things. And I hate to say it, if I didn't already say it, I'm not seeing a good future for humanity. I'm not. Why? Because of how humans are inherently, naturally. We want to protect our habitat. If you're already in power, as in very rich or a politician or whatever, and this goes for any race and religion and whatever, I don't give a shit, okay? And any political side. If most humans, and I might be wrong, but most humans, when they are established in this world as one of these richest, most powerful people, they want to hold on to that title. They want to hold on to that position. And that's when humanity shows its real nature, let's just say it. Because, and I'm not hating on all rich, of course not all rich people are like this. Come on, let's not generalize. I'm always open to be wrong, but most of the time they want to hold on to what they have and to that power. It is what it is. And they start doing a lot of evil, crazy, insane stuff. And well, that's how you hold on to a power. A lot of people hate the US because of what the US is doing, right, with wars and stuff. And of course I disagree with a lot of wars. Any country is, I am anti-war. Sorry, I wish there were no wars in the world ever again, but it is what it is. But you do realize, if you want to live, and this goes for both left and right-leaning people, you guys, and I hope you guys realize this. If you want to be in power with your right or left-leaning political ideology, you realize that you will have to use violence, that you accuse the other side of being violent. You accuse them. If all left-leaning people, if leftism ruled the world, that means right-leaning people would, let's say, become a minority, and left-leaning people prioritize minorities. But in this case, it wouldn't be. And they would have to do these evil, insane stuff to these right-leaning people so they don't get into power again. So the whole world is left-leaning, right? It would be the same for right-leaning. If the whole world was ruled by right-leaning politicians, everything is conservative, the same religion, everything's the same, right? That means the left-leaning people, that means you will have to do to them all of these evil atrocities and all of this to keep them down, so you rule the world with your belief and your side. So I don't see it as a winning battle. This is a never-ending losing battle. We're intelligent enough to design the type of society and technology and science that we have, but, and I might be wrong on this, but we're not intelligent enough to look past a lot of this artificial shit. Now you might disagree. I think a lot of stuff is very artificial with culture and religion. It's fine if you disagree. It's fine. I don't care. I respect your opinion, of course. I believe in freedom of speech. And if we just were that intelligent and we looked past that and we just focused on evolving society and exploring the existence, because that's everything we have, the whole existence, the planet and the universe. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if a species becomes hyper intelligent, they just become more disruptive between themselves. It is what it is. And I'm not saying all of this, and I'll end this video soon. I'm not saying all of this and thinking that I'm this very intelligent guy, very smart guy, because I have these beliefs. It's not, that's not what I think. I come from, as I said, Eastern European, Southeast Europe. Even though I'm very westernized in the case that I love the idea of what America should be, right? And I know, based on right and left-leaning people, the idea of America is different, whatever. The idea of my fantasy, let's just say that. But I love, because of how I grew up with creators and media from the US, right? And I know more English than I know my native language, which is insane. And it's bad for the country that I am from, but I just don't care. I love the US. No, I'm not saying that it's perfect, but if you actually want to leave constructive comments, you're welcome. If you want to leave hateful comments and you want to say that I'm whatever, leave them. I'm not going to delete them or hide them. YouTube, if you say derogatory, insane words, YouTube automatically hides them. I'm burping so much. YouTube automatically hides them. I have to go to this hidden comments tab on YouTube Analytics and unhide them. But if YouTube hides them again and again, it's not my fault, I'm sorry. But just leave my family out of it. You know, destroy me all you want. And I'm not saying that I'm this very high IQ, hyper intelligent guy. I'm not. I'm probably like, I probably have the IQ of a baboon or something. I'm probably like a 65 IQ guy. Let's just, here's my main goal with this channel. Even though I'm going to say a lot of my beliefs, it's fine. You don't have to agree with them. I'm not making this channel so that I find people that all agree with my beliefs, but because that's going to be hard. That's going to be impossible, I think. Maybe it's not going to be. I'll be proving wrong. That would be great. But the main thing I want to push with this channel is question everything. Question all the educational books and resources, left-leaning people, right-leaning people, people from this religion, people from that nationality, from that ethnicity. Question everything. Especially modern resources. I mean, even historical. Winners wrote history. So, yeah, but question everything. And make most of your judgments based on, and see, this is where I'm done. I don't know how to from what to base most of my judgments on. I can say it can be from my experience, but one single human's experience isn't all of the whole reality. I don't know what to believe in. I don't know what to think, but the main point of this video was question everything. Please don't blindly follow everything like a cult. Please don't ignore everything. Listen to everyone and what they have to say and question everything, what you believe and what they believe. Please question everything. And by this point, I already know that, you know, most people left and didn't even listen to like 2 minutes of the video because, you know, I'm a boring and annoying idiot. But if you actually did listen, thank you. I'm very thankful. I don't want my channel to be these kinds of videos. I will continue making the normal videos that I usually make. That's about it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I feel like I have a lot more to say, but I don't know. I think I said all I wanted to say with a few examples, and that's about it. And if you want to hate me, hate me. It is what it is. Have a nice day, and I wish the best for you, I guess, even though I said many times that I'm not seeing anything good for humanity in the future. Bye.